feel the energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max.
Shiraz is the best young prospect we have in the UK.
I genuinely do think he will go all the way.
Capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars on the line.
He's ready to go. Referee looks. He goes down.
Anyone who's got the world title, put me in with them.
I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait your turn in line.
And Lennox Clarke, he was on a mission. That is the performance of his career.
That was a good shot from Heffron there.
Heffron knows it. He knows that he's stunned him.
Young Dennis is on there too. He's in a tough fight. He's been stepped up.
I know I'm gonna be a world champion. I don't think I know.
In my head, I can go all the way.
Has to go down as an impressive win for Ryan Garner, getting the stoppage.
Now it's time that I show the world what a king is.
Welcome to BT Sports Studio. I hope you enjoyed that little promo that just played there. We're back. It's fight week. Hamzah Sheeraz, the young boxer of the year, is back this Saturday night in probably the toughest test of his career. And there's nothing but bangers on the undercard. Speaking of bangers, how about this fella? We've got a brand new signing with Queensbury. And the wait is over. This is a man who's going to leave his mark on the cruiserweight division. Yeah, you chuckled. I had to do it. Ellis Zorro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
Good, yeah, happy to be here. Happy to announce the signing. It's been a long time coming, so yeah, I'm excited for the future.
How has this happened?
Well, I obviously signed with Martin Bowers after my night fight. I was previously with Goodwin. Was looking to get a deal, but I didn't really offer anything at the time. I was just lining up. Had a fight on BT Sport on David Adley's undercard. Got a second round stoppage. So it was good for Frank.
I remember that. Left a bit of an impression, yeah.
It was good for Frank and everyone to see me. But then I went on to win the Boxer, which added a lot more clout and a lot more following. So, then I felt it was the right time to sign over with Frank,
40 bags as well?
Yeah. Well deserved. Yeah.
Tell us about that night then, because that was 3 fights, same night. You won them all on points, and it looked like you had a lot of composure that night. You sort of conserved a bit of energy. That's how it felt looking at it.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect my opponents, but I was kind of, in second gear, so to speak. I didn't want to blow my gasket in the first fight, all for the sake of impressing. My motive was just to go and win, and come home with the 40 grand and the following and the clout and the position to make a signing like this.
Well, look, you've got the clout, and now you're going to have the platform as well on BT Sport. Tell me about the £40,000. I understand you're going to spend it on your daughter.
Yeah. So it's well documented that my daughter is non-verbal, got autism, and private therapy is a lot of money. So now I'm in a position where I can provide for her and consistently provide for her doing that. So yeah, it's good. That's what I'll be using it for.
So has she been doing that?
That's what I've been using it for.
Yeah.
So I've already paid. She's done 2 weeks, and she'll start another 6-week block in end of January.
Amazing.
That must. I'm proud.
Yeah, that must put a smile on your face. 100%. And how's she getting on with it?
Yeah, good. It's a slow one. Yeah. It's a slow process, but it will be. And that's what I'm saying. It's something that's going to have to happen consistently. So now I've got the money, I can continue to provide for her in that manner. Yeah.
Well, it's nice that it's happening, and well
Appreciate
done. So the cruiserweight division. You're 14-0. You've got the clout, as you say, of winning the Boxer tournament. There's a lot of cruiserweights in this country. Where do you place yourself at the moment? It feels like Okoli's sort of above everyone right now, and there's a bit of a scramble underneath that.
Yeah, underneath Okoli, look, the thing is we all know each other. I'm from the same amateur gym as Richard Riakpo and Isaac Chamberlain. We've all sparred together. We all know each other. Skill for skill, I'm up there with any of them, but I understand that, they've had more championship fights, they've had more 10-rounders, they've headlined shows, so it's kind of silly for me to stand here and say, I'll beat them tomorrow, even though ability-wise, I think they know about me and I know about them and they know kind of what time it is.
So you're saying the time is you beat them tomorrow?
Yeah, I believe so. But again, fights aren't made that way. I understand how fights are made. But now that I'm on this platform, and I won the Boxer, I've got a bit of a target on my back, and that's kind of what I need. And hopefully I'll be thrown into these 50-50 fights with all of them names above me,
Why Frank? Why'd you go with Queensbury?
It just makes sense. Hall of Fame promoter. You know, obviously I'm managed by and trained by Martin Bowers and Tony Bowers, so I'm in the Peacock gym. Denzel Bentley, Chris Borg, Louis Lynn. Everyone else is promoted by Frank. It just makes sense. Like, that's where I'm at. So yeah.
What's the vibe like in the gym? Because there was a moment in time, right, where the Peacock had taken a couple of losses. It was getting a bit of criticism.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you won your tournament.
Yeah.
Denzel Bentley became a 2-time British champion. It feels like you're on the rise again.
Yeah, but that's the reality of boxing. Sometimes we're going to have good days and bad days. We all push each other in training, and it is a little tough if someone's coming off a loss to not get down with them, and that's when it becomes individual. You know, when Chris took a loss, I had to kind of focus on my own performances in the boxer. So yeah, but it's good. I love it down there. Yeah, I love it down there.
And speaking of Denzel, obviously we've got it's Hamza Shiraz in action this weekend. Denzel's the British middleweight champion. It seems to be linked to a future fight with Hamza. Have you spoken to him about it? And
to Denzel?
Yeah.
A little bit. I know they got him here tomorrow. I thought it was meant to be today, but yeah, I'm backing. I back my boy. I back my boy Denzel. Yeah.
Of course you do.
That one, yeah.
Well, speaking of backing your boy, I can hear Frank Warren. Frank, come in. Come and join us. He says this is the fella that won the cruiserweight tournament. Jump in the middle, Frank.
How you doing, Frank? You all right?
Frank Warren and his new signing, Ellis Zorro. Frank, tell us about this man, another new, a great signing.
He's going to hate me saying this as a cliche, but he made his mark, and now we've got him on with us, and we're ready to roll. And we're delighted.
Yeah.
We're delighted. Done really well on that tournament on Sky, so now he's on the other side of the road, back with us, and it's up to him now. We're going to give him the platform to go and show the world what he can do, and I'm sure he's going to grab the opportunity with both hands and show the world what he's all about.
Yep. I had to make a Mark-related joke as well, so I'm sorry, but we had to do.
Well, not so much. I'm a silly old git.
I'm just a git. Yeah.
Young git.
He's from the Peacock, right? So he's Martin. We've got a great relationship with the Peacock gym. Denzel's there, Louis Lynn, Chris Bork, so many.
Martin and Tony, they're good people, and they've done absolutely brilliant with their guys. I mean, they care about their fighters. They've got a lovely, it's a lovely gym, lovely setup, and they know what they're doing. So again, we're delighted that we work with them. They're a delight to work with.
Well, Ellis said he wanted to sign with you. You're a Hall of Fame boxing promoter, etc., and that was on his mind after he won the tournament. What did you think when he won that tournament?
I think he's done brilliantly.
Yeah.
I really did. And I didn't talk to Ellis about it. I was talking to Martin, and Martin was confident he was going to do the business. And he certainly did do the business. Done it in style.
Yeah. Certainly did the business. I mean, there's not many cruiserweights in the stable. I mean, in terms of, there's Ellis Zorro who's only had a couple of fights. Yeah. Arnold Obadai's only had the one. It's really Ellis who's the one, 14-0 now. He's going to...
He's carrying the banner, isn't he? So
that's it. Yeah. That's it.
Carrying the banner. Ellis, anything finally you want to say to Frank or anything before we let you go and have a chat?
Thank you for taking me on.
Pleasure.
Thank you for giving me the platform. I won't let you down. I won't let myself down or my family. And yeah, I'm eager to go.
Good man. Ellis, welcome. Welcome to the team. And we'll have a chat with you again a little bit later on. Frank, if I'll just bring you in here, let's have a chat. Hamzah Sheeraz is back, young boxer of the year. He's all right, isn't he? He's quite good.
He ain't bad. But I think he's one of the top young prospects in the world. And I really do rate him. He's done brilliantly. It's his second fight now at middleweight. He's moved up. And he's in a good fight. I mean, he's got the opponent's going to show us how far he's come on. Good. It's a real good test for him, this one. And I just like working. He's such a thorough professional. He's got a good team around him, and he does the business in the ring. He looks good at what he's doing. And hopefully, we're going to get something a little bit special on Saturday out of it.
Well, this opponent, Francisco Torres, I've seen him knocking about. I've seen his box rec picture as well. He looks a bit like Bradley Skeet.
He might look like him, but. He is what he is. He's got a good record. I think he's got a better record than Bradley, and I think he's going to pose a few questions for Hamza to answer. No doubt about that.
I think it feels like it's an opportunity for Hamza to show his learning since that Skeet fight.
Correct.
It's exactly that.
Exactly. And also it's a middleweight.
Yes, of course, he's moved up. Tell us what this belt means. It's the WBC silver. It sounds like he'll get himself a good ranking with that.
Well, it does. It gives you a top. You're in the top 5, and that is good. Good position to be in for him, and especially at this stage of his career. So it's all about getting out there, getting your ranking, about being seen, and he's topping the bill. he's got, he's in a real good position. This is a good fight card. All our youngsters are on there. There's some really good fights on there, competitive fights, and some really good young talent. Which is what we're all about, developing and bringing young talent through. So they've got a great platform to go and show the world what they got on Saturday. And I, as a boxing fan, as well as the promoter, am really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. Look, we'll have a bit of a chat about the rest of the card shortly, but since I've got you here, we've got to speak about heavyweights, right? We've got to speak about Tyson Fury. What's the latest, Frank? What's the latest now? We heard maybe he'd retired, but then maybe the door was open to exhibitions, but then maybe the door's open to Joshua Usyk winner, but then maybe the door's closed. How's the door looking?
Well, I don't know. It may be ajar, but I don't know where it is at the moment. Look, Tyson will do what he wants to do. He's the guy in the driving seat, and whatever he chooses to do, he'll do. There's no rush for him to do anything. He's on his tour at the moment, so he's not in the gym. He ticks over, but he's not training for a fight in the gym because he can't, because he's got the tour on. That's where he's at the moment.
But there's no pressure on him to vacate title or make a decision or anything like that. It's just boxed is mandatory.
Correct.
So with Joshua and Usyk, do you think he'll be watching on and he'll sort of have a view?
He'll watch it. We're all watching, won't we? It's an intriguing and interesting rematch, and for us, for me, I would love to see the winner fight Tyson. I would love that to happen. And that's why we'll watch it with great interest to see who comes through. I have my opinion. I think who wins. Other people have got theirs as well. But I hope AJ wins, because I'd love to see Tyson, if he does decide he wants to unify the titles, to be fighting another Brit. And I think it'd be brilliant for us as a nation to have two Brits again fighting for first time ever for all those belts. But I think he's got a huge hurdle to overcome in Usyk. I think it's a tough fight for him. I think Usyk's going to give him a lot of problems this time.
Do you think
enough problems last time?
Yeah. Do you feel as though it's a fight that Tyson Fury could entertain, even if Joshua loses? Because it feels like the country would still stop still.
They may do, but he'd be more interested in fighting the winner.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if he is to retire, if he is to vacate, Joe Joyce is very well placed. Deontay Wilder is very well placed with the WBC as well. Is that a fight that you'd entertain?
Yeah, I think it'd be a great fight to make if he were to retire. But we're not going to wait around, with Joe waiting for that to happen. He's a long way off having his mandatory. I think Deontay's talked of him coming back in late autumn. See what he does. If he comes back. In the meantime, Joe's fighting. We're looking to try and get him out on the 24th of September.
Well, let's bring in Young Boxer of the Year. I can see you waiting up. So smart. This man. Look at you. I'm all right. You all right?
Very well. Are you?
I'm okay. Look, where do you find these suits? This is tremendous, Hamza.
Do you know what I mean? My tailor over in Liverpool. Just like to say a massive thank you to him. But yeah, I'm trying to compete with Frank, aren't I?
Yeah, you can't compete with Frank. How you feeling heading into Saturday night?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling great. Great. I'm in good spirits. Happy as ever at middleweight at 160. Made it quite easy. Saturday night, here we come.
Proud moment, Frank. You've got another Young Boxer of the Year. You've had plenty in the past. They've gone on to do some great things.
Yes, some have. But Hamza is a consummate professional. He takes this. You have to take it seriously when you're a fighter. There's no shortcuts, and everything in his preparation is done meticulously. And I admire him and his team for that. And that tells you where his mindset is. That he's not cutting corners, not leaving anything to chance. And I genuinely do think he's got a tough fight on Saturday. But he comes through it, as we talked about earlier. He comes through it. I think it's going to be a really good yardstick to see where he is in his career. Come through that and go on to some even bigger fights. But he's a tremendous star in the making. I really do rate him.
Have you clocked eyes with Francisco Torres yet?
Not yet. Today's going to be the first time.
He looks a bit like Bradley Skeet. That's something I'd know.
I did motivation. Yeah. To be honest, you're fighting similar to him as well. Very similar. He's tricky. He knows what he's doing. He's going to obviously come to win. And this ain't nothing new to him. So listen, we ain't cut no corners. And like I said, Saturday night, definitely see the best version of me.
Well, Frank says this will be a yardstick to see where you are. Where do you think you are heading into this fight?
I think as a fighter, I believe personally I am the best. Are we moving from you being called a prospect to now being called a contender? Is this the new stage, Frank? I'll let you answer first.
He's still got a way to go. I mean, you know, there's a lot of look, good fighters get pressure on him. He handles pressure. A contender, do I think he's ready to fight for a world title yet? No, I don't. He's got a lot of way to go yet. It's a learning process. He'll probably, if he could get a world title tomorrow, he'll probably fight for him. There's no doubt about it. But it just needs experience. It's all about experience, gaining experience. Every bit of experience you get, every fight you get, it's all in you. That all goes into the locker. That's really, really good to be able to fall back on, to know what you've done, where you are, and that's what he just needs to be busy, plenty of experience. And if Hamza does what I believe he can do, this time next year he'll be on the verge of fighting for a world title. I'm confident of that.
Do you feel like you've moved to contender status now?
I mean, like I feel personally like I'm on the brink.
Yeah.
On the brink. Obviously, I just won that award, which kind of, in my opinion anyway, seals that chapter now. I mean, it seals that chapter, and like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm not really a fighter to be getting ahead of myself, but come Saturday, I keep saying it's a good opponent in bringing out the best of my ability and showing that I'm capable of being a top contender.
Well, I mentioned Bradley Skeeton, I mentioned he looks a bit like him. Is this a chance? Obviously, you didn't get to rematch him. You offered him the fight. You wanted to do it again because he gave you a few problems, gave you a few things to think about. Is this a chance to demonstrate that you have learnt since that? Yeah,
of course. I learned. Like, I watched that fight back the next day after my fight, and I looked back at it and I thought, at the start, what was I doing, kind of thing. But like Frank said, it's all experience. It's all getting it in the locker. And when I went back to LA after that camp, we worked on literally just the basics, everything, the jab, just pinging out, just pinging out that jab. And my last fight with Jed Smith, the work to treat, set everything up, and I got him out there in the second round. Hopefully Saturday I can do the same thing.
9 knockouts in a row, Frank. He's banging them out for fun.
It's a knockout.
It's a knockout.
Tell me about this. Like, you haven't had much amateur career, right? I mean, it's similar. I was thinking about this. It's similar to Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard didn't have a long amateur career, didn't have many amateur fights, and he's about to fight for a world title again for the second time. Where are you finding these diamonds in the rough, Frank?
Well, look, there's a lot of guys. It's guys who have really long amateur careers, and they go on to do nothing. You could look at it a different way. If someone's had a sort of very limited amateur background, sometimes you're not picking up habits as an amateur that you don't want as when you're a professional. You obviously not got the experience, but then when you turn pro, the trainer's starting from basically from scratch, as he was certainly in Anthony's case.
Yeah.
And that can also be a plus and a benefit. I mean, I'm all for experience and whatever with any fighter, but it also puts a lot of pressure on guys when they're big punchers. Hamza's a big puncher, Anthony's a big puncher, so they get rid of guys, and all you get everyone saying, step them up, put them in with this one, that one, but they need to get the experience. And certainly with big punching guys, I mean, you look at a lot of fighters' records. I'll give you old fighters such as Nigel Benn, knocks everyone out, then started going the distance with quite a few people, and that's what happens because you're fighting better quality. So you can't just rely on that big punch. And as Hamza just quite rightly said, you went back to the gym, get back to basics, get back to boxing, and getting back to using a jab. If you go looking for that big punch, very rarely does it happen because you're tensing up looking for the throw shot rather than being relaxed and going out and boxing behind your jab. You find you get into more of a rhythm, and then that comes the big shots come. So for me, I like guys. If I had my way, and it really could destroy our Olympic team, I'd like all guys to turn over when they're 18.
Well, look, you've had a lot of success with that.
I've had a lot of success with that. I mean, the fighters have had success. Naz, Ricky Hatton. You look at all those guys turned over very young. They didn't go to the Olympics at all. And then there've been obviously fighters who've gone to the Olympics who've done extremely well. But because you don't go to the Olympics, don't mean you're not going to be not a good pro. And most of the pros who I've been involved with didn't win Olympic medals. Who went on to do big things.
Well, we've got a very good pro here who is headline act on Saturday night. Hamza, Frank, I'm going to let you both go because we're probably about to have a row with Mark Heffron and Lennox Clarke. We're going to bring them in for a chat. So
I'll leave it to it.
Cheers, Frank. Right. Mark Heffron, jump in. I think security are also taking their spot.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be me getting saucy, Frank. Mark Heffron, Lennox Clarke, have you ever come this close before?
No, not yet, no.
Never sparred, nothing?
No, nothing.
Have you kept an eye on each other's career? What do you think of this fella?
Said it time and time again, I think he's a good fighter. I've always kept a close eye on him with being in and around the same weight. And the fight has been spoken about over the years. Yeah.
What do you think of Mark Heffron?
Same again, really decent, strong lad, you know. And as I said, I've kept an eye on him because we're in and around the same weights. I agreed the fight after I lost to Lerone Richards. I don't know what happened. He decided to stay at his weight and go his way, but now we're here and I'm ready to rock and roll, man.
I keep hearing you say in interviews that he's a big, strong guy. Now that you're seeing him up close, does he look as big and strong as you think, or what? How does he shape up?
He's big, strong, mate, yeah.
And how does Mark shape up?
Listen, he's a middleweight coming up, isn't he? He's been in and around the weights, yeah. So I know what Mark's about anyway. I know what Mark brings, and it's going to be a good fight, and I'm ready for it, man.
What's the difference? What's going to be the difference on Saturday night?
I'm coming to this fight as a challenger. I've been out of the ring due to injuries or whatever, and I'm coming as a challenger, and I'm hungry, and I'm coming for it, and that's all I can say.
You having a little look at him now? Are you taking in any sort of read from what you're seeing in Mark Heffron's eyes?
Yes, man, listen, you know what I'm going to do, man. Listen, me and him probably don't need spicing up to have a scrap, you know what I mean? So you're going to see it on Saturday night, and it's going to be a good night.
How are you going to do it? How are you going to beat him on Saturday?
See you on Saturday.
Back at super middleweight now. Super middleweight, you had a lot of power there. You were knocking a lot of people out. Do you think you got the power at super middleweight to hurt Lennox Clarke?
Yeah, getting on to 11 stone 6, it's taking too much out of me, just killing me. But obviously, back up at super middleweight now, 12 stone, feel good, making the weight a lot better. I wouldn't say I'm doing it easy, but making it a lot better. I'm just buzzing for it now. Like I said, it's going to be a top fight. Similar styles, both like a good scrap. Forward to it.
How do you think he's going to fight you when the first bell rings?
I don't know. I have to wait and see on the fight night. Obviously, I've been watching him, but watched like a good few of his fights. And yeah, I know what he's about. Just, I don't know. You have to wait and see on Saturday, innit?
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen when the first bell rings? How's he going to approach it? Is he going to try and take centre of the ring? Is he going to try and force you back, be a bully?
In his interviews, he's told me he's not going to take a backward step. So I'm prepared for him trying to rough me up. I'm prepared for whatever. And, as I said, I'm prepared for anything. So come Saturday night, man, the best man will win, and I believe that's going to be me. So, yeah.
You're not going to take a backward step Saturday?
We'll see on Saturday. You're a ballin', you.
I'm trying. Look, what I want you to do is just have a little face-off for 10 seconds or so. Just have a little look. Yeah. Just step in the middle here. We'll have security in. I think you're all pretty friendly. All right, good stuff. Gents, we'll see you at the actual press conference. Thanks for doing that, and it's all pretty friendly actually. You better spice it up there. All right, let's speak to, my goodness, Dennis McCann. That is some suit. Well done. Well done. Where'd you get it?
Did you just done, wasn't I?
This is the one at Blue Water, isn't it? Did you get it at Blue Water?
I'm not sure.
No.
I can tell you. I forgot.
How's life?
Great, mate. Great, thank you.
Yeah. Featherweight. That means you can eat a few more Haribos, right?
More Haribos. Probably not, no. But at the end of February, it's in between both, super bantam and featherweight, you know what I mean?
Okay.
In between both catchweight.
Why is that so important heading into this fight? Was it just too hard to make bantamweight anymore?
Yeah, bantamweight was not feasible anymore. It hasn't been for the last 3-4 fights, really, to be honest with you. It's taking me power, taking me everything. It ain't making it enjoyable, do you know what I mean? So now I'm feeling strong as an ox. I'm ready to box, baby. Strong as an ox and ready to box. It's a bit of a step up, right? Not just in terms of weight. He's also a good fighter, right? And he's done 10, 12 rounds before. You've never gone beyond 8 rounds. How are you feeling heading into this step up in your career? Are you treating it as such? Yeah, listen, it is a step up. Listen, James is a tough lad. He's got good chin, he's durable and stuff, but there's levels to his boxing game. I think we both know that, mate. And I'm going to Saturday night, I'm going to show some serious levels. Make a big statement. Yeah, you think you can get him out of there? I don't think. Action speaks louder than words, my friend, but I'm confident. Well, I saw a few quotes going around from James. He said, you're the biggest name that he's faced, sure. But he said, you're not the best fighter he's faced. He's fought Brad Foster, he's fought Chris Bourke, and he backs them both to beat you. What do you think? I think that he doesn't have a clue what he's on about. I think that he's going to be very, very shocked. Honestly, what he is. Trust me. He's got on shots from all angles. Pow, pow, pow. He's going to think, what's going on here? That's what he's going to think. He also said, and I know I'm stirring it up, I know I'm going to say the same thing again in about 10 minutes. He said that you've just been fighting blown up flyweights, and that's why you're unbeaten, that's why you're having the success that you're having. What do you think? I think that he's going to find out Saturday night, isn't he? He's going to find out Saturday night, my friend. He asked some previous his sparring partners that he's barred in the past how hard I punch. Believe me, especially this weight now, I've had to employ sparring partners over from Italy, from all different countries, because I keep putting people over. Genuinely, it's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. Putting people over. 95% of my sparring partners have been putting over. Pretty bad as well. That's what 14-ounce gloves on. So I'm feeling very, very strong, and I'll put these 8-ounce gloves on. I think it's going to be pretty. Trust me. Could it be a dangerous Dennis The Menace? Dangerous Dennis The Menace is going to be a Saturday night, I'm telling you. Mate, this is how you started your career. You started your career just whacking people up, and you burst onto the scene, and then the power just seemed to start going distance a little bit more. Do you think you're heading back towards, at this weight, a bit 100%. More comfortable? Oh, 100%. I'm telling you, I think there's a KO pending, my friend, I'm telling you. New belt as well, WBC International Silver. New belt, nice little stepping stone. Listen, he's just a stepping stone in my eyes. Someone to get me where I need to go. Do you know what I mean? If I can't beat him, then I'm going to be world champion, am I? So that's the way I look at it. Fantastic. Well, Dennis, we're going to speak to you up at the press conference very shortly. Have a little row with him, yeah? Do me a favour, yeah? All right. Nice to speak to you. Let's bring in... Cheers, mate. Let's bring in Joe Gallagher. How are we, Joe?
Not too bad. How are you, Dev?
I'm okay. I
believe you've been stirring the pot then.
I'm trying. I mean, to be honest, they were quite nice until they faced off. Then you could see it was quite stern.
Yeah, there's no need to switch on yet, Dev. Leave them alone.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try all the same questions again very shortly. Joe, how's Mark looking? He's back with you now, where he started his career, and he's come back home.
Yeah, he is. He's, as you've seen there, he's looking good. He's been through a really tough camp. Physically, emotionally, mentally. I've really had to. This is some people say maybe Mark's last opportunity to have a shot at the British title. He's 30 years of age, 30 fights, and we're going in against a very good champion, Lennox Clarke. Lennox, listen, I'm sure he isn't happy having to be out the ring for so long. He wanted to build on that win with Willie Hutchinson, which was a fantastic win over Willie Hutchinson, by the way. So we know it's a hard fight, but Mark, as you see there, fighters know when they've done the hard work, they turn up fight week, there's a smile about them, the work's done, they just can't wait for fight night, and they enjoy this bit of a presser and enjoy the weigh-in. But when fighters haven't done the work, you can see the stress and the tense and everything else. Mark's walking around with that bit of a calmness just to enjoy it. So enjoy fight week, you want to come away from this and enjoy it. And I said to him, just be Crawler for a week, just be a Mr. Nice Guy for a week for a change. I mean, stress, there's no need to get stressed yet at a presser or weigh-in. Time to get stressed, it's 9 o'clock Saturday night when the bell goes.
Was he ever really a middleweight? What do you think?
When he came back to me, and he walked in the gym and he weighed, and I'm like, you're not a middleweight, you're moving up to super middleweight. I've known Mark for years, we've used him in for sparring, he's been in with Callum Johnson, Callum Smith, and the other people that he's been in with, and he's more than held his own. And I just thought to myself, when you've been deaf and you've been around and you sit on TV and you look at the fighters like a Canelo and people like that, then you see them in real life and you go, is that only the size of him? So I'm saying to Mark's like, oh, am I big enough for Mark? Yeah. As Mayweather said, it isn't necessarily about size, it's about skills. And you're taller than Canelo and everything else. It isn't about that. You've got to have a bit of belief in yourself. You've got great boxing ability. You're a good amateur. You can punch. Let's just go and do what Mark Heffron does best, step up super middleweight.
How do you see the fight playing out?
Well, we prepared for everything. Lennox his boxing has improved immensely. Errol Johnson's kids are always fit. They're coming on a good win off Tyler Denny the other week down in Coventry, so the tails are up. And Lennox is a very mentally strong individual. He's not got to let go of them belts without a tough fight. And for us to win, we're going to have to win well. Like you say, Sniper Richards was doing well early on and he came back well into that. He didn't let Willie Hutchinson settle. So we've trained for everything on the night. But like you say, boxing's boxing. But I'll tell you what, it's a fight that you don't want to miss. And the good thing about it, it's a good British domestic fight. There isn't enough of them at the moment, and there's huge potential out there in the UK for these type of fights. We don't always have to be an intercontinental belt. It doesn't always have to be a foreign belt. The British belt, there's some good British fights to be made, and this is one of them. And I know Hamzah Sheeraz is top of the bill, but I do feel this one will steal the show Saturday night.
Well, just as you were saying those things, he was sort of shadow boxing behind you. I think he's entering fight mode. Good time in the Gallagher gym right now. Paul Butler, world champion, Natasha Jonas as well, knocking out a light middleweight. And it's a good time to be up there, huh?
Yeah, no, the gym's thriving. It's a next wave of people coming through, like I said, Paul Butler, Natasha Jonas. It's a shame Callum Johnson had to pull out. He had COVID again. He's just jinxed, that kid. But then, like we said, we've got Mark Heffron for the British. Sean Axley's 10-0, 11-0 now. The gym's doing really well. Jose Burton's now up at cruiserweight. Marcus Morrison is having a fight, and then hopefully looking at getting in the title picture, a fight against Denzel Bentley, something like that. So it's a good time. We've got some good prospects. Callum Thompson, he's out again in August, and then he's got to be out on another Frank show, and he really impressed last time out. I thought it was good. He fought a solid journeyman. He did well, and everyone in the gym just goes, he's so talented. We just got to keep them active. That's the trouble. When these kids that come off GB, that they're used to fighting in Europe all over all the time, every month, every 2 months, and then when they come pros, it's once every 4 months, and then start getting bored and then eat too much. And so we've just got to keep him in rein and keep him busy and active, and Frank has assured me he will do that now over the next 12 months. And I'm usually excited about Clark Smith, a kid that hopefully has got to turn professional in the September now. So yeah, it's a busy time, and most probably this will be my last wave of generation of fighters
really?
now. Well, we'll see anyway. We'll see. It's the hands, the elbows, the stress with them all.
It all adds
all
up.
Catches up, yeah.
All adds up. Look, before I ask you about Callum Johnson, it looks like Anthony Yarde is landing a fight with Artur Beterbiev, and that's a fight that you know well. Yeah. How do you see that fight going on?
Good fight. A good fight. I think everyone's writing Anthony off a little bit too early. Obviously, when you look at his performance, I thought Beterbiev's performance against Joe Smith, I won't say he was a career best, but it was a very good win. The way he dismantled Joe Smith, his shot selection, he was tunnel vision, and a little bit because he's getting older, but he's getting better. He isn't someone that's declining, he isn't showing no signs of going backwards, or he's taking too many shots. I thought his footwork was good, his shot selection was on point, he was sharp. And I think Anthony Yarde, when he comes hugely motivated, there's a huge difference between Arthur and Beterbiev, do you understand? But it's going to be a good fight. He's got to cause a style that much what Beterbiev hasn't dealt with before. So it's an interesting fight. You would go Artur Beterbiev, he's the favourite.
He'll be the favourite.
He's right, but Anthony Yarde is a live underdog. But it's a good fight, and fair play to Frank Warren and Queensbury BT getting that fight and bringing him over here, which will make huge difference in some ways. Francis Yarde not having to travel.
What is Anthony Yarde's route to victory in that fight?
Oh, I was going to say bring a shotgun at first then, but yeah.
No, he can punch. He can punch. We've seen Beterbiev down before. Your man knocked him down.
Yeah, no, he did. There's two things. Anthony is which Anthony turns up, because Anthony rematch Arthur is good. Anthony Kovalev, he did well and he quitted himself well, but he just ran out of gas. All them boxes have to be ticked for this. But Artur Beterbiev, when Callum Johnson fought him, Callum was engaging too early, and I said to Callum, step back. Beterbiev's jab is ramrod. And I said, don't be on the end of that jab. But Callum said to me in the corner, he says, Joe, he's not that strong up close. I feel I can bully him. So I went, all right then, well, you're the fighter in there, off you go. So he was, and unfortunately got stopped at the time. He was pushing him back, he'd landed him good shots. So, but BTB's best shot is the right hook. He walks you onto the right hook all the time. He did it with Callum Johnson, he did it with Joe Smith the other week. It's the right hook. Anthony Hardy with that lead hand, and he bowls it over. Will he catch him on the temple? They've got to be aware of that shot. Can Anthony Hardy punch hard enough to hurt BTBF? We don't know, and I think that's what people will be tuning in to watch and see. We don't know. I don't think Anthony has fought that opposition really world level, that he's knocked out a world level opponent, not being discredited. Can you think of any at the moment?
Look, I guess his best showings have been the round against Sergey Kovalev, considering how little experience he had. Lyndon Arthur, we don't yet know how good he is, but we know he's beaten Anthony Yard, and Anthony Yard has now beaten him. I guess that's what you're looking at. Sia Klotcher was a good win. He did well against Arthur Abraham. So there's stuff there. There's stuff that you can point to. But tell me about Callum Johnson. What's going on? When do you think we'll see him again? How is he?
Callum spoke to Frank the other week, and he said he'll most probably get him out August, September time, and this would be great to get on the undercard of that one in a meaningful fight. That would be a good double header, but we'll see. I can see people around us are ready to get going, Dev. I know I like to chat, but I don't want to hold up Frank or I'll get in trouble.
Brilliant.
But nice, thanks for having me on anyway.
Nice speaking to you, Joe, and I guess got to start a press conference. Let's see if we can get it to kick off. Let's have a look. See you in a bit.
Feel the energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max.
Shiraz is the best young prospect we have in the UK.
I genuinely do think he will go all the way.
Capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars on the line.
He's ready to go. Referee looks. He goes down.
Anyone who's got the world title, put me in with them.
I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait to turn in line.
And Lennox Clarke, he was on a mission. That is the performance of his career.
That was a good shot from Heffron there.
Heffron knows it. He knows that he's stunned him.
Young Dennis is on there too. He's in a tough fight. He's been stepped up.
I know I'm the world champion. I don't think I know.
In my head, I can go all the way.
Has to go down as an impressive win for Ryan Garner, getting the stoppage.
Now it's time that I show the world what a king is.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's another big fight week. It's very hot currently in the UK, and it's only getting hotter, and it's going to be very hot on Saturday night, live on BT Sport. We've got an absolute cracker. Hamzah Sheeraz, the young boxer of the year, is back. He's a middleweight. He seems to be knocking a lot of people out right now, and he's got the toughest test of his career. Mark Heffron, Lennox Clarke, whack it out for the British and Commonwealth super-middleweight titles, a fight that's got violence written all over it, and we've got a big undercard. The return of Dennis McCann in the toughest test of his career against James Beech. Nick Ball, the man who got Wembley Stadium bouncing, he's back, and he takes on Nathaniel Kakololo. The man who's making it all happen is, of course, Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, who I'm with. I'm delighted to be joined by. Frank, tee this one up for us. Another cracker, a summer sizzler.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is. This is some of the best young talent in UK, if not world boxing. I'm so pleased to be putting this show together. These guys have got such a platform on Saturday night to go and show the world what they've got. To show them they can be the stars of the future. They've all got good records up to us yet. They're all in competitive fights, tough fights, a lot on the line for all of them. So I think we're going to see something a little bit special on Saturday. I think, you're going to see some real good quality fights, and we're going to see some of the stars of the future.
Well, speaking of something a little bit special, we're actually going to start by talking about one of our new signings who sat on the end of the table there. Pierce O'Leary makes his Queensbury and BT Sport debut on Saturday night. Pierce, let's pick up the mic. Let's have a chat. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. This is a massive opportunity for me. So taking it all in, it's fantastic to see all the cameras here. It's something that I've never done before. And yeah, it's great. I'm really loving it.
I've heard that you've won Irish Knockout of the Year like a couple of times now. You can whack a bit, can't you?
Yeah, well, that was last year, so it wasn't on BT Sport. No one really got to see it, and come Saturday night, it's going to be another big one that everyone will get to see around the world.
Tell us a little bit about what you've done as an amateur. I understand you're very decorated.
I'm a 9 times national champion, fought all over Europe, European Championships, been on the back end of wrong decisions, but listen, boxing, push on, and yeah, listen, I'm out there, I want titles, it's only a matter of time now.
Training up with Al Smith, you're with the likes of Dennis McCann, Sam Noakes, all these boys every day. What's the vibe like up there?
The vibe is incredible. Big Al, we have Big Al there. He's a genius. He's unreal camp. The lads, they've all worked hard and they want big titles. So the vibe in the gym, it's fantastic. Like, it's just everyone vibes off each other. Just everyone pushes each other. There's no jealousy, nothing like that. No hate. We all work hard. We all have our own goals to achieve, and we just keep it going from there.
Well, Frank, they call him Big Bang. What do we think?
On Saturday, it's going to be a bigger bang. I promise you, you're going to really enjoy watching Pearce in action. I mean, he is all action. He can punch. I mean, he can whack. There's no doubt about that. He's got dynamite in both fists. And he's going to definitely be a star of the future. No doubt about that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him in action. And I'm delighted he's on the Queensbury roster. I'm really looking forward to working with him.
Well, Pearce, final words to you. I've been reading some of your Instagram posts, and you seem like you've got quite an old school sort of mentality. You wrote something like you're a different beast, but you've got the same mentality as Mike Tyson. Tell us about the mindset of Pearce O'Leary.
Yeah, well, listen, boxing, where I come from isn't a great area, but at the same time it is a fantastic place. So for me to get to where I want to get in life, I've got to put the work in. I've got to keep on going against the grain constantly, as I've been doing. As I said on the last interview, it's all come together now. I wrote down my goals, got a promotional deal, got my own little place, privacy, got a car to get to the gym. Like, small stuff in the world, that means everything to me. So with me going out there, keep putting the work in, it's all the rewards are coming, you know. So listen, I'm just excited. I'm looking to get the ball rolling on Saturday night and kicking it off from there, because I do believe I'm going to be a world champion, not just in one weight classes, but in multiple weight classes.
Well, we look forward to it, and best of luck to you on Saturday night. We're looking forward to the Big Bang making his debut. Thank you, Pearce.
I just want to say one word as well. I just want to thank Frank for giving me the opportunity. It's a massive, incredible stage. I'm actually loving it up here. So, and also the BT Sport as well. So Saturday night, make sure you all tune in. It's going to be incredible.
Pleasure and a delight.
All right, Pearce O'Leary makes his BT Sport and Queensbury debut on Saturday night. And now we're going to talk to a really intriguing fight that's coming up on Saturday. We're going to speak to James Beech and we're going to speak to Dennis McCann. Gents, I'd like you to both pick up your mics so that you can clap back if someone says something you don't like. Whatever Frank, you can interject as well. Let's speak to James first. Now, we've seen you on BT Sport before. We've seen you in against Brad Foster, Chris Bourke. It's Dennis McCann this time. What are your thoughts heading into this fight?
I've just got to be better than I've been against them two, really, and just do what I do. Dennis is a good lad. I don't think he's as good as the hype he's had around him, but, I've just got to get in there and do what I do.
Well, we've seen you in those fights, as I mentioned, and they didn't go your way. This one's at featherweight. Why does this one go your way?
Because I've trained harder than ever before for this one. I've got the experience off them two fights. I'm going to be taking it into this one. Them other two lads as well, was more probably experience, whereas this one, it's Dennis's step up. He's never done the 10 rounds before. So I've just got to take him into the deep waters, somewhere where he's never been before.
You ready to go to deep waters, Dennis?
Listen, man, I'm ready to rock. I'll do. Give me a couple of packs of Haribos and I'll fight right now. I don't even need no chicken and rices. I'm ready to rock, to be honest with you. I've been training very, very hard. I've been in training camp for the last 16 weeks. Round is not an issue to me at all. I've done 200 rounds of sparring with world champions, European champions. I've been putting all my sparring partners over, but not even on purpose, with big gloves on, 14, 16-ounce gloves. I had to fly Italians over, European champions over from different countries. And to be honest, I think Saturday night is going to be the best you can ever receive, Dennis McCann.
So you've been putting all these people over in sparring. Can you put him over on Saturday?
When I put them 8-ounce gloves on, my friend, listen, action speaks louder than words. I don't want to talk too soon, but I'm very, very confident I will do, yeah.
James, Dennis has had a lot of hype around him from Queensbury, from BT Sport. He's one of the shining prospects coming through. Do you think the hype is justified?
Not really, not after these last 2-3 fights. Like I say, he's got a big step up this Saturday, and I think he'll be found out. I think, I've got to bully the bully, and that's what I'll be doing.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him?
I'm expecting a tough fight. I know he's a tough lad, and I know that when I put it on him, he's going to give it me back. But I'm hoping that down the stretch, my experience takes over and gets me the win.
What do you think, Dennis, down the stretch? His experience, he's been up at featherweight before, he's boxed at higher weights in sort of non-title fights. What do you think?
Listen to me, shit weight is heavy, isn't it? If you want to be a lazy fucker and eat burgers and pints, you can do and fight at super featherweight. I can do the same thing. But listen, I just think that there's levels to this boxing game. I believe that I'm going to be definitely a potential world champion, and he's in my way right now. So I'm gonna just have to take him out one night because he's in my way, and if I don't beat him, I'm not going to be a world champion, am I?
What can you do? He's unbeaten, Dennis. What can you do that his other opponents haven't?
Hit him back for a start. I mean, I ain't no flyweight who's 8 stone and coming up and all fat, you know what I mean? I'm coming down in weight. I'm going to be bigger than him, and I'm going to be able to push him back.
How are you bigger than me? You're not bigger than you. Could you get a few points and a few cheeseburgers and fought a super featherweight for an area title? You're bigger than me.
You've boxed 8 stone people, that's it.
But then how is I box 8 stone people? We're the same weight as me.
You've been boxing 8 stone 2 people, you're going on saying I was a bantamweight. Cheeseburgers. You've been boxing people that have just been eating.
Okay, I'm a bantamweight before.
That's the only people you've
and now I'm a featherweight.
We'll see.
And now I'm a featherweight, I'm saying. How are you bigger than me? If I stand up now, you're not bigger than me.
Words. We'll see Saturday.
You're not bigger than me though, it don't make sense. Who have you beat? Name a couple of names who you beat.
Luke Jones is a better name on the record.
How is
than
that?
You've got.
How is that?
What name you beat better than Luke Jones?
I don't even know who Luke Jones is, to be honest.
Luke Jones, you can't say.
I don't even know who he is.
Tondo with a flyweight for a corner.
Okay, you've won a few area titles. I wouldn't even fight for an area title, to be honest with you. And if you bring them there to the arena and try and walk out with them, I'm getting you arrested and calling the police. I'm getting you arrested and tell you escort you out of the building because you can't bring them out.
It's alright, I'll be walking out that WBC title.
Yeah, listen, in your dreams you will be, my friend. When you get on them shots, small angles, pow, 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 you're just going to think, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? That's what you're going to think. That's what's going to happen Saturday. But as I said, action speaks louder than words, and we'll see, won't we?
James, let me ask you this. Dennis says that he's been sparring very well at this higher weight. He's been putting people over in sparring. When he puts those 8-ounce gloves on, could be bad news for you. Do you think he's got the power to hurt you?
No, not really. I mean, sparring, and what people say and what they're doing is 2 different things. So we'll see.
Is this the best fella you boxed?
I don't believe so, no.
I just cannot wait, my friend. I promise you, I just cannot wait. Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing just to jump in there. I promise you, I've made the weight that well that I genuinely believe I could jump in the ring right now and fight. And bait you as well. Very easy. Even if you refuel right now and I never refuel, I'll still bait you. But as I said, we'll see Saturday night, won't we? You are a tough lad, and I do respect you. And you are a very durable fella. But Saturday night I'm going to expose you big time.
Okay, well, look, we're going to wrap up with you two guys. James, anything you want to finally say to Dennis ahead of Saturday night?
Not really, just be ready. And if he ain't put the work in, he'll be getting found out. So we'll see.
Dennis?
Believe me, I put the work in, my friend. I'll buy you a pack of Haribos. No points, but I'll buy you a pack of Haribos after. And I'll cheers to that.
The deal is on the table. Frank, give us your thoughts on this fight. It sounds like they're coming to fight.
This is also for the Haribo title, you know that. So this is this is a good fight. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot, Dennis knows he's in with James, who's a very, very experienced guy, and he brings a lot to he's going to bring a lot, and you're going to find out how good he is and whether he's good as we think he is. And James, as I say, is no slouch. I think we're going to see something. It's going to be a good fight. We're going to see a really good fight, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's one we look forward to very much so. The WBC International Silver Featherweight title on the line, and of course the Haribo title, which is now also on the line as confirmed by Frank Warren. So fantastic stuff. James, Dennis, thank you. Let's speak to our WBC Silver Featherweight title competitors on Saturday night. Let's start with Nathaniel Kakololo. Welcome. Good to have you here. How are you feeling heading into this fight Saturday night?
I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling at home.
Have you seen Nick Ball fight before?
Yeah. I used to see him. I saw him struggling with Isaac Grower. For me, he's a good customer. He's a good customer for me.
You've seen him a little bit around today as well. Now that you're seeing him in person, what do you think? How does he shape up? Bigger than you think? Smaller than you think?
He's a small boy for me. And I just want to tell him that every champion was once a contender. I hung up my WBA African back home, and I came to challenge for the WBC. So I just want to tell him that every champion was once a contender. I come here to be a WBC champion.
Well, Nick, you can pick up your mic and interject at any time. How are you feeling? This is your first defence of your WBC Silver Featherweight title after you lit up Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, feeling good, Dev. Thanks to Frank for getting me back out so soon. So ready to go now, yeah, can't wait.
Has your life changed at all?
What's that, sorry?
Has your life changed at all since that performance? Because I've noticed a little blue tick pop up next to your name.
I know, it's good, it's nice. I've been getting a load of attention and new supporters, but life's changed for me, not really. Just stay with the hard work and stay focused and push on for bigger and better things now.
And what do we know about this guy up here? I mean, when you boxed Isaac Lowe, it was a bit of a trip into the unknown, perhaps, for Isaac Lowe. This is a bit of a trip into the unknown, it feels like, for you, because I've tried to look him up on YouTube. There's not a lot out there.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really want to look at him on YouTube. I want to look at him in real life, and Saturday I'll do that. Find everything about him about Saturday night, so...
Well, you're looking at him now, sat at this table, he's looking across at you. Are you seeing anything? Can you take anything away from right now?
No, not really, just find out Saturday, innit? Nothing really to say to him, just no talking, all action, as always.
That's what we're used to from Nick Ball. Nathaniel, you were brought in fairly late notice. He was meant to fight someone else. How well prepared are you for this fight?
Like I said before, back home to Africa, I'm an African champion, WBA. So champion don't get ready, champion stay ready. I'm ready for him. So I was ready for anything, anytime. So when the call came in, I was already in the gym. So I'm ready for him. Suppose him to be ready for me even. So at this moment of time, I just want to thank my promoter for raising me and for me to become a man until at this point of time. And I would like to thank Queensbury for inviting me, not just to contest, but to win that WBC.
I've heard you say that this is your time. Why do you feel now that this is your time right now on Saturday night? Why is this the moment?
Back ago, I was supposed to fight with Lelato Dramini, but that fight couldn't take place. That's why now this fight is taking place on a Saturday. This is the right moment for me. This is my time for me to become the WBC silver champion. Count on me.
You looking to make a statement on Saturday night, Nick?
Yeah, another statement from me. All action, definitely.
Your name's getting out there, you know. I saw, obviously you got a great ranking with the WBC. Ray Vargas is the new WBC featherweight champion. They were putting out graphics the other day about who should he fight next, and your name popped up as one of the potential foes? Are you feeling that your star is rising?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen that on the way down, to be honest. And get this one out the way, and it'll be good to push on for that and turn that silver to gold, innit?
Talk to me about Nathaniel Collins. That was the fight that we thought was going to happen. I've seen you go back and forth with him a little bit on Twitter. What do you think's gone on there?
Don't really know, to be honest. I was saying to the lad then, only he knows, doesn't he? But deep down, I don't think he wanted to get in the ring with me, definitely.
It's totally irrelevant. On Saturday, he's fighting him, and that's all that
exactly,
matters. Who cares about the other guy? That's who he's fighting. This is a tough fight. You know, he's never been stopped, Nathaniel, and he's going to bring out the best of him. And he's going to have to be at his best. So the old wrecking ball, when he gets in there, has got to do a job, and he's got to look good doing it. He knows that. He's done a brilliant job at Wembley, and everybody see it. He's one of the stars of the show, and got to move on now from that and forward. And this guy's in his way. Nathaniel's in his way. You only got to look at him. He's fit. You can see that in his face. The guy looks good. He looks well, and we're going to see something again. I think we're going to see a really good fight on Saturday because never been stopped, and he goes out and stops people. So it's going to be interesting.
Did he surprise you at Wembley Stadium, Frank?
I knew it'd be a tough fight. I fancied him, obviously, but I knew it'd be a tough fight. But it was all action. It could, again with Isaac, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's a tough guy. I mean, he took some stick and he come back a couple of times, and you've got to take your hat off to him, and I do. But it was a tough fight. But you know what? The pace of the fight. What impressed me was Nick's work rate from the first bell to the till it ended. He was continuously working. I mean, it's like, you could get, Duracell should sponsor him. I mean, he's got tremendous engine inside him, and he went out and done what he had to do. It was brilliant. I was really pleased with him. But this is a tough fight. It's a different fight altogether. And as I say, it's not like he's not been on the road, Nathaniel. He's gone and fought guys in Russia and Ukraine. So he's a tough guy. But if Nick is what we think he is, he will give this fella a lot of problems on Saturday.
Well, Nick, I've heard you. Obviously, you've lit up Wembley Stadium. Is Anfield in your sights one day?
Yeah, definitely. World title in Anfield would be unbelievable. So, defo.
Turn that silver into gold.
Yeah, that's the one in it, Dev.
Nathaniel, anything finally you want to say to Nick Ball before Saturday night? He's right there.
I just want to tell him that for me, it's just a homework. I'm looking at the bigger picture. Vegas, after him. It's just a homework. So, yeah.
And Nick, your response?
I've got nothing to say to him. I don't want to speak to him. I want to punch him in the face. So, that's that.
Perfect. Well, there will be plenty of punching in plenty of faces on Saturday. We're going to take a little 2 minutes, and we'll come back very shortly with the Mark Heffron, Lennox Clarke fights, and Hamzah Sheeraz, Francisco Torres. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks, Dave.
Feel the energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max.
Shiraz is the best young prospect we have in the UK.
I genuinely do think he will go all the way.
Capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars are a lot.
He's ready to go. Referee looks. He goes down.
Anyone who's got the world title, put me in with them.
I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait your turn in line.
And Lennox Clarke, he was on a mission. That is the performance of his career.
That was a good shot from Heffron there.
Heffron knows it. He knows that he's stunned him.
Young Dennis is on there too. He's in a tough fight. He's being stepped up.
I know I'm gonna be a world champion. I don't think I know.
In my head, I can go all the way.
Has to go down as an impressive win for Ryan Garner, getting the stoppage.
Now it's time that I show the world what a king is.
Back. It's time for the two main fights on Saturday night. The main event that you've got, Hamzah Sheeraz, British boxing's young boxer of the year, 15-0 middleweight now. He's knocking people out for fun, and he's got the toughest test of his career against this man here, Francisco Torres. And what about Mark Heffron against Lennox Clarke? This is a fight that's been called for a good couple of years now. It's got war written all over it. And that's a good place to speak to Frank about it. Frank, I mean, you love fights like that. Heffron Clarke, come on, talk to me.
You just said it, it's a war. I mean, they're two fighters who, when they get in the ring, give it all. I mean, really do give it all. And I think this is going to be a bit of a cracker. This is, it's one of those fights as well, the winner's going to go on. I'm not saying it's going to be the end of the world for a loser, but, the winner will move on quickly. So it's up to making a statement on the night. And I mean, you look at their records, the both of them. They've got a good, good win rates, great win rates, and that the experience they got between them is going to be something a little bit special. I think it's going to be a real cracker.
There's an IBF Intercontinental title on the line as well as the British and Commonwealth. So the stakes are high, and there's a lot on the line.
It's a top 10 ranking. So they know what's at stake, and you get the top 10 ranking, that means that your money goes up.
Absolutely. Well, let's speak to Mark Heffron. Mark, welcome back. Happy birthday for tomorrow, is that right? No, Boxrec got it wrong then. No, because I was going to say about birthday beats and stuff like that, but no. How you feeling heading into Saturday night?
Well, first I'd like to say a massive thank you to Frank for this huge opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it.
What do you think of Lennox Clarke?
I've said it time and time again. I think he's a very good fighter. Coming from the background, like he's had being an unlicensed fighter, he's done really good. He's obviously to win the British and the Commonwealth.
Where does he rank in terms of your opponents so far? Obviously, Liam Williams, Denzel Bentley. They're kind of the two top guys, it feels like, that you've boxed so far. Where do you rank Lennox Clarke?
I rank him right up there with him, yeah. Definitely, yeah, he's up there with Denzel and Liam. I think he's a big, strong fighter. And I think he's going to bring the best out of me.
Well, Lennox, I'd like you to pick up your mic. Let's have a chat. Welcome back. It's been, 14 months? Long time. Where you been?
Yeah, I've been out unluckily with injury. I'm back now, fit, and I'm ready to go. Prepared very well and very hard for 12 rounds. And I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I'm coming in this fight as a challenger to relaunch myself and get right back in there.
14 months out. Mark Heffron's quite a tough ask for your first fight back. What do you think?
Yeah, Mark's a good, tough, strong fighter, and I believe our fight's got the making of a fight of the year, but I believe I've got the beating of him. I'm fit, I'm strong, and as I said, I'm starving for success and to get back on track where I left off knocking out Willie. So, yeah, man, I'm ready to go.
You've mentioned a couple of times there, starving for success. You said you're going into the fight as the challenger, even though you're actually the champion heading into this. How important is it for you to have and retain that challenger mentality?
Yeah, of course, and I'll always look at things like that as well. I come in, I'm going to give it my all, 110% from me, and I believe me at 110% smokes Mark Heffron, and I believe I'm bringing something completely different to what Mark's been up against in his career.
At 100%, Mark, he smokes you. It sounds like he's at 100%. How do you think it's going to play out?
Have to wait and see on Saturday night.
This is your third time challenging for a British title. There was Liam Williams, Denzel Bentley, as we said. Is this sort of, are you treating this like your last chance? Is it now or never?
Yeah, it's definitely now or never. But I feel like I'm more than ready for this opportunity now, and on Saturday night we'll see.
You're back with Joe Gallagher. You started your career with Joe Gallagher. You're back with him now. Do you feel like a settled fighter? Do you think that's going to add an element to you potentially winning on Saturday?
Definitely, yeah. Joe's been working me extra hard. He's got me 110% ready. He's brought some big, strong sparring partners in. Yeah.
Do you think you can impose yourself on Lennox Clarke? He's a big, strong guy. You've said it plenty of times. You up at super middleweight, you tend to hurt people. You tend to knock them out. Do you think you can hurt and impose yourself on Lennox Clarke?
Definitely. If I land, and when I do land, I'll definitely hurt him. Yeah.
Lennox, you said about Willie Hutchinson, you said you took his best shots and you broke his heart in that fight. Do you think you can break Mark Heffron's heart on Saturday?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, after he's lost to Denzel Bentley, he hasn't boxed anyone. You're touching down there on Joe Gallagher. He's had more coaches than anyone in boxing, so there's going to be no gain there, you know. And listen, I'm just hungry. Anyone at our division, our weights can punch, so we've all been working on our defences. So it's going to be a good fight, and I'm well excited and glad to be a part of it.
We sent a camera up to your gym a couple of weeks ago, and you said that you won't have to go looking for Mark Heffron. You said he'll be walking onto some big shots, and you'll get him out of there. Do you stand by that?
Yeah, obviously, if I hit anyone clean on the chin, then they're going. And, you know, so at some point in that fight, I am going to land on Mark, you know. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. And as I said, it's going to be a fan-friendly fight. Everyone's going to enjoy it.
What's the key to you winning this fight?
Listen, no one wants it more than me when I get in that ring. From round 1 to round 12, I'm hungry, I'm starving, and I'm going to be coming. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the difference.
Mark, what's the key to you winning this fight?
I'm fully prepared for 12 rounds. If it goes 12 rounds, yeah, so I'm ready for 12, a good solid 12. But if the knockout comes, the knockout comes.
And if that knockout does come and you finally win the British title, get the Commonwealth with it, get the IBF Intercontinental as well, how much does that mean to Mark Heffron?
It means the absolute world to me.
You've not had an easy year, you've gone through quite a lot as well,
Yeah.
so it feels like it would be a big moment in your life and your career.
Yeah, I lost my mum this year. Like, I know mum's going to be looking down on me, and I'm going to get the win for her.
All right, well, look, Lennox Clarke is here, Mark Heffron is here. I want you to just look across the table to Lennox. Lennox, please lean forward. Anything you want to say to him before Saturday night?
No, nothing.
Anything you want to say, Lennox?
We said what we've got to say, so we'll leave it down to Saturday now.
All right, an absolute cracker. I think it's going to be a very violent affair on Saturday night. Lennox Clarke defending his British and Commonwealth super middleweight titles against Mark Heffron, IBF Intercontinental title on the line as well. An absolute cracker. And now let's talk about the main event. Hamzah Sheeraz, young boxer of the year, 15-0, taking on Francisco Torres, the man here to my left. Francisco, let's speak with you first. How are you feeling heading into this fight? And we've got a translator over there as well who's going to join in.
La verdad que me estoy muy contento y me siento realmente bien para mañana, para el día de la pelea, y realmente esto es algo especial para mí.
I'm very happy for being here, and I really prepare for this fight.
Hamza has knocked out his last 9 opponents in a row. What made you say yes to this fight with Hamzah Sheeraz?
A ver, esto es un reto, yo soy boxeador, este es mi trabajo y realmente me gusta hacer lo que hago. Me ofrecieron este reto que para mí es importante y por supuesto que acepté el desafío.
I'm a boxer, this is my job, and I love what I do, so that's why I accepted the fight.
What sort of boxer are you? For anyone here that hasn't seen you box before, what can you tell us about your style?
Yo me considero que soy un boxeador, quizás a mucha gente no le puede gustar, pero yo soy un boxeador como corresponde. Mi estilo es justamente lo que dicen los libros en cuanto a cómo se tiene que defender y cómo tiene que atacar.
My boxing style is as book says, in how to defend and how to attack.
Is that all he said?
That was it.
Okay. It's kind of something about defending and attacking, which is obviously very, very good. Tell us about this draw with Jose Benavidez. Do you feel as though you won that fight?
Sí, o sea, cuando vi la pelea dije merecía ganar yo, pero bueno, los jueces vieron empate y eso es algo del pasado. Ahora viene algo nuevo.
Yes, I'm convinced that I won that fight. the judges saw a draw, but so we have to advance for something new.
And finally, Francisco, what do you think of Hamza Sheeraz?
Es un boxeador realmente bueno, por eso estoy bastante contento de enfrentarme a él. Yo creo que un boxeador sigue aprendiendo siempre y justamente como aprende con desafíos como este. Realmente es un muy buen boxeador y estoy muy contento de poder competir con él.
I think he said he was going to knock you out. I don't know. Go on. What did he actually say? Did he say that? Did he? Can we pretend? Go on. What did he say? Yeah.
He's a very good fighter. I am very happy for having him as an opponent. So I'm very happy for being here.
Okay, fantastic. Well, let's speak to Mr. Hamzah Sheeraz. It's welcome back. This is your first fight as Young Boxer of the Year. How are you feeling heading into it?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Almighty Allah. I'd like to thank Frank Rowan. I'd like to thank my team for allowing me to be here today, allowing me to headline. And yeah, going back to what you're saying, Dev, feeling great. Camp's been great. I'm in good spirits. Finally at 160. Second fight at it, and we've got a good opponent in front of us, and we're ready to go.
It is a good opponent, isn't it? I mean, we're looking at him. We had a little joke earlier. I said, it looks a bit like Bradley Skeet. I mean, I don't know, you can decide for yourselves, but Bradley Skeet gave you a few problems back in December, right? Obviously, you knocked him out, you got him out of there in the end, but he asked you a few questions, and you didn't get to answer those questions because you didn't really get the rematch with him. Is this your opportunity to show that you have learnt since that fight?
Yes and no, to be honest with you. Yes, in terms of it answers the public and everyone who saw that fight, but me, Ricky and my team, after the Skeet fight, we went back in the gym, worked on the basics, got back in the Jez Smith fight and made it happen quite easy, to be honest with you. But yeah, listen, that's all past me now. I got, obviously, Francisco in front of me on Saturday night, and yeah, in terms of that, it is what it is, and we prepared, and like I said, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to getting in there with someone who is going to ask me a few questions, going to test me in certain ways. But like I said, nothing we're not prepared for.
Is that what you're expecting then? Because at the end of his fight with Benavidez, I watched their post-fight interviews, and Benavidez said this guy was running all night, and all the commentators were just saying, no, he was boxing. Are you expecting him to be tricky, awkward, make you really think in there?
Yeah, to be honest, he can do whatever he wants. He can come forward, he can box on the back foot, he can do whatever really. He can fly for all I care, do you know what I mean? But yeah, listen, me and Ricky and the team and Taz and everyone, we prepared, and to the best of my ability as well. I've done everything in my power to make sure Saturday night I put on a performance, not just for myself but for everyone as well, and especially I think headlining for the first time, I've definitely got to. Do you know what I mean? I've got to come and give a show. Well, you are on a streak. 9 knockouts in a row. It's I think there's only a couple who are doing that. Sam Noakes has got plenty as well. Fabio Wardley's doing the same sort of thing. Could you make it 10 Saturday night? Is that the plan? I mean, yeah, it's a competition between us, isn't it? It's a little. I saw it on Twitter not long ago. It is a competition between us, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that. But listen, I'm not going to go looking for it because I think the last time I went looking for it in like my second or third fight, it never come, and I ended up winning that fight by like 1 round or something like that. So yeah, I learned my lesson a long time ago. Frank, tell us about Hamza here. He's he's 23 years old, 15-0. It feels like to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like he's now stepping from prospect to contender. What do you think?
Well, excuse me. I think the boxing writers themselves said what he was, best young boxer of the year, and that has prospect written all over it. He's now, I think, moving on. This is the step now where he moves on from being a prospect to moving to another level. I mean, in Francisco, he's got a tough Argentinian. I mean, all Argentinian fighters are tough guys. They come to fight, and I think it's going to be a real good yardstick to see how far he's come in his career. For me, he's done everything absolutely right. 15-0. I think he's a credit to boxing and the sport. He's very well spoken as a professional. He's a consummate professional. Him and his team. Ricky, great, he's a great trainer for him. He's really worked well with him, and Cam, his father, and Taz. They've done a fabulous job between them all in making sure his preparations are spot on. And he invests in himself. His purses that he gets, he invests in his future, in his career. And I genuinely feel he's one of the best young prospects in the country. And I'm hoping after this weekend they look at him and say, there's a guy that we all feel can win a world title. And I do believe he's capable of doing it. But he's going to have his hands full on Saturday. He's going to have his hands full. But I think he can do it. And he's not a bad-looking fella. He looks the part, doesn't he? He's the old clobber's good. He gets himself together. He looks the part, as I say. And for me, I think he's one of our best young fighters, or certainly one of the best young fighters in this country, if not the world.
Hamza, there's a WBC silver middleweight title on the line. With that comes a ranking. With that means, hey, maybe it's only harder fights from here on in. Do you feel as though this is the fight that sort of puts you quite seriously in the conversation for the next step? I heard you talk about Eubank. Obviously, you're not going to look past Francisco Torres, but it puts you in conversations for fights like that.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. It gives me, a top 6 with the WBC as well, so it gets my name in that mix. But like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself at the end of the day. I've got Saturday night to get the job done, and then hopefully we can talk more after that.
Well, look, I'm going to just bounce back to Francisco Torres with translator. What's your prediction for Saturday night, Francisco?
Pain.
Oh, yeah. Pain.
No, la predicción es que, va a ser una gran pelea. Obviamente yo sueño con ganar la pelea. Trabajé para eso, así que yo voy a decir, siempre voy a creer en mí, así que voy a ganar la pelea.
It's going to be a great fight. I believe myself, and I work for it, so I think I'll be the winner.
Okay, and finally, Hamza Shiraz. Obviously, Francisco believes he will be the winner. Tell us why you believe you will be the winner on Saturday night and pick up that WBC silver middleweight title.
Simply because I'm going to do what Benavidez couldn't do. It's as simple as that. I'm going to do what he couldn't do. And like I said, I've been preparing to the best of my ability, and Saturday night I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. Well, Frank, let's sign this one out. Cracker. Saturday night. Summer sizzler.
A summer sizzler. It's going to be hotter inside than it is outside, that's for sure. And I think we're going to get really good fights. This is the best young talent in the country, some of the best young talent. And they've got a great platform to make a statement on, as I said earlier. So go and do the business, boys, and go and sell yourself to the public, because this is how you do it. Go out there and do the business. Good opponents, good fighters. Everybody at this table can fight. So we're going to get some good fights.
Including me, maybe?
Well, except for you.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to fight you.
Probably not me. Okay, well, look, the guys that can fight are going to do a face-off very shortly. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Saturday night. Do not miss this. See you then.
This one, this is going to be a fight, boys, I'm telling you. Very good. Well done.
Feel the energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max.
Shiraz is the best young prospect we have in the UK.
I genuinely do think he will go all the way.
Capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars on the line.
He's ready to go. Referee looks, he goes down.
Anyone who's got the world title, put me in with them.
I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait your turn in line.
And Lennox Clarke, he was on a mission. That is the performance of his career.
That was a good shot from Heffron there.
Heffron knows it. He knows that he's stunned him.
Young Dennis is on there too. He's in a tough fight. He's been stepped up.
I know I'm the world champion. I don't think I know.
In my head, I can go all the way.
Has to go down as an impressive win for Ryan Garner, getting the stoppage.
Now it's time that I show the world what a king is.